Hi everyone. As you're completing your readings for this particular module, it's really important to take a step back and really do some strong reflection in this section in particular and examine those concepts of social justice and think about what you personally perceive as social justice and what your definition may be, because we need to do some reflection and figure out where our perspective is and how perspectives may vary dependent on one's worldview and one's experience of the world, very honestly. And it's very critical to be in touch with what your thoughts are and be open to the perspectives of others to learn and grow, as we don't have the same experiences as those that we serve, whether it would be those who are our colleagues, whether it would be those who we serve as patients or clients. So we really need to take that step back and think about where our life lands and where those that we serve actually exists, and there may be differences, so the perception of social justice in our worldview may be very different. So with that being said, we also need to explore our own biases, and very often we want to think that we're not biased. Very honestly, most everyone has some sort of bias because of how they were exposed to the world. And with that being said, there are some ways to do some self-examination of implicit bias. And Harvard has done a study and has a questionnaire, and you can actually do a self-assessment. So that's one area to kind of bring maybe things that we don't even realize, our blind spots, to light, so that we can start working on those types of things, because very often we don't even realize how we may perceive the world or perceive someone else, because we do have those inherent biases. So the more that we can know how we feel about things, we can keep those things in check, so to speak. So again, just some food for thought. And when we're looking, backing up to social justice a wee bit, when we're looking at social justice, think in the concepts of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and really examining those baseline needs, because we cannot move beyond those basic needs until we get those needs met. And with that being said, how can we elevate maybe the experience of health when folks are looking for just having a roof over their head or maybe enough food to eat, or even feeling unsafe wherever they happen to be. So again, and that brings a whole new plethora of considerations when we're examining how the world exists, and now in the context of value-based care delivery, how does that play when some of the responsibility is held on organizations as far as outcomes, when in actuality there's some societal factors that come into play well beyond the control of healthcare organizations. So all kinds of things, very complicated to think about, and we're bringing all of this in the context of not only the history in examining the experience of Henrietta Lacks, but we're also looking at what's going on right now and examining those concepts of, oh my gosh, how far have we come with human rights, but how far do we need to go? And there's a constant improvement process, and with that being said, the voice of advocacy. And as DNP prepared nurses, you will have, whether you believe it or not, you will have an elevated voice because of your credentials. And as an ethical leader, there is a responsibility. So all of those factors we need to really examine as you're diving into your readings, and take a step back. Take your time with the readings. It's one chapter for this particular module, but really dive into and examine your own thoughts as you're moving forward. So if you have any questions or concerns, let me know.